Hey everybody, Jake Breen here, Team Utah Cribs at Berkshire Hathaway Utah Properties. I'm going to talk to you about buying a home on your own. Let's face it, we know that everybody nowadays starts their shopping online, and that's fine. We have some tools that'll help you do so. But the begging question, and perhaps the most common question I've had in my 14-year career is, if I find the home myself, don't I save paying a buyer's agent commission? Well, let's jump to that, and let's talk a little bit more and be very specific about what happens with realtors' commissions. So let's face it, we know that realtors get paid on commission. Listing agents get paid when a home is sold, buyer's agents get paid when they represent a buyer to buy a house. But do you save 3% when you buy a home by yourself without a realtor? Realtors do lots of other things, such as negotiation, inspections, appraisals, be experts on the market, help you negotiate your deal, help repairs, etc., etc. We can make the list go on and on. I would say the most common misconception we get in our industry is that consumers will save money by not using a realtor in their transaction. Let's look at some of the specifics. Here's a listing agreement. Now, this agreement is made between the seller of the home and the brokerage that lists the home. As you can see as we zoom in on this paragraph, this speaks specifically to the amount of commission that the seller has agreed to pay the brokerage if they sell the home. I want you to notice something. There's not two different boxes that explain what the buyer's agent gets paid or the listing agent. It simply says what fee will get paid should this brokerage sell this property. Meaning, this contract is always signed prior to the buyer coming to the property. So let's look at this on a timeline. A listing agent who works for a brokerage meets with a seller to sell their property. Seller agrees to the fees and they sign this form. On that date, the home is officially listed. This is often prior to photos, this is often prior to marketing, this is definitely prior to a buyer entering that home, whether they're with a realtor or not when they do so. Now, let me make a little analogy for you here. We often use these. We use these, in fact, more than cash these days. And when we use credit cards, we go to many different vendors. Let's take Amazon, for example. You shop online, and we know that Amazon has a predetermined agreement with these credit card companies. So when you order products on Amazon and you pay with your credit card, there's a slight fee that Amazon is paying, say, to American Express. This is the exact same thing that happens in real estate. There's a predetermined fee in this listing agreement in which the seller pays the listing brokerage if the property is sold. Now, back to our Amazon analogy. Have you ever gone to a distribution center for Amazon and demanded to pay for your products in cash? And when you do so, said to the cashier, hey, listen, now that I'm paying with cash, I demand that you lower the price of the product in the same amount of the fee that the credit card company gets paid since I'm not paying with credit card. Are you following my thought here, or are you confused yet? That's the exact same thing that consumers often try to do when they represent themselves in buying a home. For example, we get consumers who go search online themselves, call the listing agent and arrange to view the property themselves, and then go see the property and make an offer themselves, all along thinking that they're saving 3%. Well, as you've walked through these motions, let me ask you one thing. Have you altered the agreement that the seller signed with the brokerage? If you haven't, you didn't save any money. In fact, all you did is let the listing agent get the full amount that's agreed to in the listing agreement. Now, how would you bypass all this? Well, the Realtor Code of Ethics states that when a buyer is represented by the realtor and the property is listed on the MLS, the listing brokerage will share that fee with your buyer's agent. And that fee amount that they're going to get paid is displayed at the bottom of the MLS sheet on every single house that's up for sale in the entire state. So the system is pretty simple. Buyer's agents know exactly the amount they will get on any house that they show. However, When consumers go and offer on properties by themselves, the listing brokerage and listing agent get to keep that entire amount. Now, if you're confused, I need to tell you one more thing. The listing agent does not need to represent you as a buyer in order to get both sides. They get both sides whether you're represented or not. So what happens when you attempt to represent yourself? Well, you're left in the woods alone. You're out there buying a property with any market knowledge you've done yourself, but no professional representation. No one to act as a buffer to help you negotiate the deal, trying to hack your way through the system and find your own contracts. And guess what? You didn't save one penny, unless you have figured out how to actually alter the agreement between the seller and their brokerage. There are ways to do that, but in my 14-year career, I've never seen a consumer who even knew how to find those forms and to do that, let alone the process that's going on. So what happens when you search for homes yourself and call the listing agent? Number one, you're taking a huge risk on perhaps the largest financial risk that you're about to make in your life. Number two, you have no representation. Number three, the listing agent's agency is aligned with the seller. Their duty is to the seller. And they'll not only represent the seller and do the best they can for the seller, they will also make double the amount of money they were going to make since you don't have a buyer's agent. If you seek representation, of course, at Utah Cribs, we hope it's us. But even if it's not us, our advice is always to have a buyer's agent. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. The seller pays every cent.